Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to be looking at how to write equations, but we're going to be modeling equations with something called algebra tiles. Now we've done this in the past, which is very similar. If you scroll down to some of your other notes that we have, we did this with pouches and coins, where we had very similar type of examples. The thing we're going to be looking at today, though, is the ones that are using something called algebra tiles because they can also model negative numbers. So what we're going to be getting into for the next couple of days here is how to model equations using positive and negative numbers. We're going to do them through algebra tiles. So we're going to try to keep this simple to start with, where we're just going to write an equation for what you see. Again, very similar to the pouches and coins. These tall rectangle pieces, those are going to be our variable x's because we don't know what they are. We don't know how big they are. So we're going to use those to be our x's. These small individual tiles, these are going to be our numbers, like 1 or 2 or 3. So these are going to be the numbers that we have. So these are the coins, these are the pouches. You want to put it into that context. And what we're going to see is that we can actually change the value of these into positive and negative examples as we go. So let's try this first one again. We're just going to write exactly what we see, keeping in mind that the tall bars are going to be our x's. And we first ask ourselves how many of these rectangular bars do we have? There's 2 of them. So I'm going to drag over my 2 right there. And again, because they are x's, I want to drag over my x right there. So we're going to represent the 2 tall bars as 2x. Then we see how many of these individual pieces we have. And in this case, there are 4. So we bring over our 4. Now, this is where it's going to start getting a little bit interesting because we need to ask ourselves whether these are positive or negative. Now, these are going to represent our positives. So we're going to go ahead and just put a plus right here between it. And this is going to be 2x plus 4. So this left-hand side, after we bring down our positive 4 right here, this is going to be 2x plus 4. Now we have an equal sign here. So we want to drag down our equal sign so that we keep it in the middle. And then we look on the right-hand side and we ask ourselves how many tiles are over here on the right-hand side. And we just want to write these down. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm going to make a 10 right here and just put 1, 0. And there's my equation. 2x plus 4 equals 10. And what we're going to see, though, is the change is that we're going to start mixing up some of these positives and turning them into negatives and see how that affects our equation.